It's the Spurs and the Wizards here tonight on NBA TV. Taking a look at the San Antonio starting lineup. In the front court, Bruce Bowen, Tim Duncan, Rasha Nesterovic. In the backcourt, it is Manu Ginobili and Tony Parker. Of course, they are coached by Greg Popovich. The Washington Wizards, the 4-1 Washington Wizards, have Jared Jeffries, Antoine Jamison, Brendan Haywood is in the middle, Antoine Daniels, and Gilbert Arenas in the backcourt for Eddie Jordan. And Fred, I think a lot of people said, would they miss Larry Hughes? Antonio Daniels, done a decent job for you?
Well, he certainly has. And Antonio Daniels, keep in mind, he was in San Antonio, and he's been on a championship team, so he knows what winning is all about. He'll do a good job for them.
Yes, he will. All right. Spurs and the Wizards getting ready to tip it up there in Washington, D.C. You can watch this game right here on NBA TV. We're going to send you out to the MCI Center to Steve Buckhantz and Phil Chenier. Enjoy the game, everybody.
They'll play again on April Fool's Day, deep in the heart of Texas. A rare back-to-back home game for Washington. And it concludes tonight before the Wizards head off to Cleveland Tuesday night as you check our ones to watch.
Well, both of these guys are very talented, can do everything. We saw Karan's game last night, but look how interesting. Both have played in 226 games. They're both in their fourth season. And I tell you what, they are a talent to watch. Ginobili off to somewhat of a slow start shooting-wise, but I tell you what, he also can fill up the stat line.
This is also a back-to-back for San Antonio. They were in Boston last night where they throttled the Celtics 103-82. They've knocked off Denver, Cleveland, Chicago, Charlotte, and Boston. Their only loss coming at Dallas 103-84. Talked about their depth. They'll have Van Exel, but Michael Finley appears to be out again tonight.
Yeah, Brett Berry not with them as well.
Yep.
But when you have a deep team, sometimes you can get by.
So they go to Duncan, guarded by Jared Jeffries. Duncan lays it off for Bruce Bowen, and his open jumper is no good. Wizards were hot, hot, hot last night. This guy led them, Arenas, with 32. And last night, the Wizards shot 58% from the floor. Gilbert goes to the lane and draws the foul.
Well, he knows where that half circle is, and if those big men don't clear that lane, he's going to go right after them. And he picks up the first foul and is able to get that shot off.
All right, let's join the third member of our broadcast crew tonight, Dave Branch, and check in with him. Dave?
Yeah, guys, it really is a rare treat for the Wizards, back-to-back home games on consecutive nights. Last time it happened, March 4th and 5th, games against Toronto and the Clippers. But it wasn't actually scheduled that way. The game against Toronto, a makeup game from a game rescheduled because of a snowstorm. Now, the time it happened before that, March 28th and 29th in 1997. Though technically two home games, the second game was actually played in Baltimore Arena. Guys, back to you.
That's when I think we played about a dozen of our games over at the Civic Center,
right?
Baltimore Arena, as it's referred to now.
You and I know it as the Civic Center.
That's right. Good old days.
Yes, sir. Gilbert Arenas gets both of his free throws, and the Wizards lead 2-0. Steve Buckhantz with Phil Chenier and Dave Branch, and our entire Comcast Sportsnet crew and our NBA TV audience tonight as well.
Needless to say, defensive rebounding will be very important. This team shoots the highest field goal percentage in the league. You don't want to give them a second and third attempt.
Duncan for the outside jumper, good. Tim Duncan averaging 23.3 points a game. He's 10th in the league. He's 4th in the league in rebounding at just under 12 per game. And he's 3rd in the league with 3.3 blocked shots a game. Arenas off a screen, good.
Boy, it was so nice to see the way he was shooting last night, pulling up and hitting shots, very high percentage shots.
Haywood with good position. Last night, Gilbert was 11 for 16 from the floor. Antonio Daniels, nice pass to Haywood underneath, couldn't get the shot.
That's all right. That's where you want to see him get the majority of his shots. Inside, he'll find himself either getting that dunk or drawing a foul.
Ginobili strokes a three. Manu Ginobili with his 8th three-pointer of the season. The San Antonio team ranks 6th in the league, shooting 39% from long range.
They don't shoot a lot of threes, though. It's a very smart team. They shoot their threes very efficiently.
Arenas pulls up over Parker and drops in another 2-point field goal. He's got 6 points.
Now, they have a lot of different ways they can go. If Arenas continues to shoot on Parker the way he has his first 2 shots, don't be surprised to see Bruce Bowen switch over on Gilbert Arenas.
All of Washington points coming from Gilbert. Parker off the screen, in the lane, a long time. He lays it up, no good. Jeffries at the other end, inside, up, and scores.
I think he may have caught Tim Duncan a little bit by surprise. I thought he was going to pull up too, but instead he kept going, charging to the basket.
Wizards by 3. Nice pass underneath as Parker lost Arenas.
Tim Duncan showing he can pass as well for a big man out at the top of the key.
Arenas again. Oh my. This one's a 3-pointer for Gilbert in his 5th year from Arizona and his 14th 3-pointer on the season. He has made all 3 of his field goals and has 9 points. You know, knowing Gilbert, he may have stayed here overnight and come into the gym early to practice. Parker misses.
Just wants to keep that hand warm, you know?
You got a hot hand like you did last night, you really don't want to go to sleep,
Absolutely,
do you?
Yeah.
Wizards by 4, their largest advantage. 5 seconds to shoot. Gilbert from way outside, a little bit short.
You want to see that ball slow down. By that I mean stop the movement. If you got your shot, go ahead and take it. If not, move that ball around.
Parker nearly traveled to Ginobili, who goes underneath to Duncan with 10. He lost it, and the Wizards get the steal. Jeffries looking, has Arenas wide open, but didn't see him and missed the shot. Ginobili for 3. Eddie Jordan is not happy. He wants his team to pass the basketball around. It's something they did not do in the last possession. 7:23 to go here in the first quarter, and it's a good one so far. The Wizards lead the Spurs by 1. Hey fans, this evening on Sports Night, presented by PricewaterhouseCoopers, in the spotlight, Eleanor Roosevelt High School, often referred to as the U for its reputation for sending great players to the college and NFL levels. A closer look at what makes this school tick. That's tonight on Sports Night after the game here on Comcast Sportsnet. Boy, that coming in out of the timeout, Jared Jeffries went the length of the court, tried to put up a shot, missed it. That was rapidly done. Duncan against Jeffries, spins on him and scores.
Boy, did a good job of protecting the basketball. You know, Jared has those long arms, and very often he's successful in reaching around, just deflecting the ball to throw the timing of the dribble off, but Duncan protected the ball well.
Let's check in again with Dave Branch. Dave?
Guys, in that last timeout, Eddie Jordan was absolutely livid. He was upset about the Wizards spacing. And he also said, look, guys, don't forget, we've got to play together. Back to you.
Well, Jamison missed that shot, but it went off on Bruce Bowen, so Washington has a new 24. But that time, speaking on what Dave just mentioned, a little bit more ball movement, a few more people touched the ball.
Jeffries looking in for Haywood. Now he drives, has his shot rejected. Goes in for Haywood, who looks small compared to Duncan. He is stifled. 7 seconds. Nice pass that time to Jeffries, and he converts.
Well, it's not a play probably that Eddie drew up during that timeout, but he'll take the 2 points.
Parker spinning inside. What a shot.
Boy, he's so good at that little underhand flip shot.
Gilbert nearly taken away. Jamison picks it up, goes into the corner. Daniels, short jumper, missed everything. Spurs coming. Ginobili, great pass and an easy layup.
Well, this team has so many weapons, and they can play the half-court game, but they also can get out and run. They're an unselfish team. Washington has to play a little smarter, make sure they value the basketball in terms of their shots and handling.
3-point lead for the Spurs, their largest of the quarter. Jamison on the fadeaway. Ginobili. Offensive foul called down low against Brendan Haywood.
See, that's what I'm talking about with Brendan. I mean, you want him. Last night he was 5 for 5 from the field. He was given the ball right close to the basket. He was able to power up and get dunks. He was getting offensive rebounds. That's how you want him to score.
Toyota League leaders, points per game off the bench, and Caron Butler, who came in last night to score 24, is averaging 18 for the Wizards. Used to starting, but not this season. Last year he started all 77 games with the Lakers. Jamison now guarding Duncan. He missed everything, but Nesterovic is right there to put it in easily.
Well, that was Brendan that came off of Nesterovic to help out. He got a piece of that shot of Duncan, came up short, but no one there to defend against Nesterovic.
You see the scoring run, 11-2, after the Wizards had a 4-point lead. Daniels on the fadeaway jumper, good. Antonio Daniels, who was signed in the offseason by the Wizards in August, played 75 games last year in Seattle, and played 2 seasons with the Sonics, now in his first with Washington. And San Antonio takes time with just under 4 minutes to go in the first quarter, and the Spurs lead the Wizards by 3. Hey fans, Ed Sorecki, the GM of Herb Gordon Volvo, is inviting you to test drive Volvo's exciting selection of new and certified pre-owned cars. Stop by Herb Gordon Volvo in the Montgomery Auto Park or see us at the web, mile1.com, and ask for Ed Sorecki. There's Eva Longoria, star of Desperate Housewives and current girlfriend of one Tony Parker, who plays for the San Antonio Spurs. Sitting courtside tonight. You referred to her in your keys to the game, actually. I think that may be a first.
That's pretty deep.
Deservedly so, I would say.
Worth mentioning.
Yeah. Duncan drives on Jamison over Haywood, knocked out of bounds, and it'll be San Antonio ball.
Securing defensive rebounds. Going to be so important for Washington tonight. I told you, as a team, San Antonio shooting about 49% from the field. That's #1 in the league, so you can't give them second and third attempts.
Here's Nick Van Exel, who's in the game, fires the jumper in and out. Jamison is there. Here's Butler against Bowen. Pulls up for the jumper, a little strong.
Got a mismatch with Ori down low.
Yep. Daniels is on him. Ori backing in. He nearly traveled, shoots and misses.
Sometimes you get so anxious over that mismatch and you end up taking a bad shot. That wasn't a comfortable shot for Robert.
Jamison off of a screen and hits the open jumper. Antoine averaging 21 points a game. That's 20th in the league, and 9.5 rebounds. He's 11th in the NBA in that category early in the season. Bowen swings it for Van Exel. A quick pass, the top of the key, and Robert Horry makes the Wizards pay. In his 14th year from Alabama, his 3rd year in San Antonio after 6+ with the Lakers, 1 in Phoenix, and his first 4 in Houston. Butler forces one up and hits.
Tough shot, Bowen all over him.
Spurs by 1. Duncan bothered by Haywood and Daniels. Now they get it to Bowen.
Hasn't got out the key yet. Just got out there.
The fadeaway, no good. And the Wizards with a great block out by Butler. Into the corner, Jamison, the long jumper. Got it for 3.
Boy, that was perfectly through the rim there. That ball barely touched the net.
Wizards have come back with a 9-2 run of their own and have regained the lead by 2. Boy, that's when you're in trouble, when you shoot, when Duncan shoots and misses and he gets the rebound. That's a problem.
Well, first of all, he caught that ball a little too deep. I mean, you're just asking for trouble. You allow him to get the ball there. They're the foul on Brendan Haywood.
And on Haywood, that will be his 2nd personal, and Atan Thomas is up off the Washington bench. Tim Duncan, who has missed just 3 free throws in 30 attempts this season, will go to the line for 2. Last night he had 29 points and 12 rebounds in a big win over Boston, 103-82.
I should mention that Tim Duncan has been shooting his free throws exceptionally well. Coming into this game, he's 27 of 30, which is 90%. Of course, on his career, a 69% shooter. And last year, season average was right around 67%. So that's right now, big part of his game is he's making those free throws.
Last year he averaged 20 points, 11 boards, 2.5 blocks, and became just the 4th player in NBA history to win the Finals MVP award 3 times. Gets them both and ties the game at 22.
That matchup I talked about, Bowen now on Gilbert Arenas.
Daniels on a fadeaway, in and out. Tough shot by Ginobili. Onto the glass.
Well, he's much, as we already mentioned, like Caron Butler. He has the outside shot, but he's a very strong and aggressive guy going to the basket, as you just saw.
Butler goes strong. Lays it up, tip up and in.
I think that was Jamison with the tip.
It was indeed. 5 points for Jamison, 9 for Arenas. Knotted at 24. Ginobili. And they get that screen, and he hits a 3.
That's his 3rd 3 of the night. He's been shooting pretty well from 3-point range coming in. Oh, wow. Never got it all. Bowen got a piece of that as Arenas was going up.
Arenas couldn't get that last shot off, but he's got 9 points on 3 of 4 shooting. Duncan has 6 points and 6 rebounds. Ginobili 11 points on 3 3-pointers. And 7 lead changes in the first quarter. After 1 in Washington, it's the Spurs 27, the Wizards 24. And they're rebounding just about even.
Yeah, you talk about points in the paint, but they're also hitting on their threes, so they're getting it inside and out.
Gilbert Arenas started hot, 3 of 4. He's got a couple of free throws as well, and has 9 points in the game.
Well, he had 9 of Washington's first 11 points. Since then, he's been a little quiet. Hopefully, he can get things going again now that we start the second quarter.
Underway in the second, Steve Buckhantz, Phil Chenier, and Dave Branch and our Comcast Sportsnet crew. Glad you're with us tonight. Wizards with this back-to-back. Arenas forced to take the jumper and hits.
You know how difficult that is.
From three-point range?
From three-point range, and a defender in your face just to rise up like that and shoot the jumper.
And you've got to be strong to do it. But the pass and the turnover wasted and thrown away.
Both Antonio Daniels and Caron Butler acknowledge. I always like that when they just acknowledge each other. Just, it's not a mistake. We just weren't on the same page, and let's move on from there.
Jarvis Hayes off the Washington bench. He'll check in. Seven to shoot. Ginobili gets around inside, lays it up and in. Boy, he's good.
Boy, how many times did we see him do that in the finals last year? Able to weave his way through defenders, guys trying to draw charge. He just goes right by him.
He's 5 of 6 from the field. 3 of them are three-pointers, and Gilbert Arenas answers with his 14th point of the game, and Gilbert is 5 of 6. Horry. Van Exel's short jumper, no good. Caron Butler. And he gets fouled as he goes into the lane. On the pass. And the Wizards should have the ball on the side. So we'll get our first look tonight at Jarvis Hayes.
Here's that move by Ginobili, weaving through the defense. You see Jameson trying to stand for the charge, but he goes right by him. Caron Butler comes right by, comes right back, and trips over the foot of Bruce Bowen.
Back live, a turnaround jumper by Jarvis Hayes is good. And very quickly, the third-year guard from Georgia is in the score column. Wizards by 2, 31-29. Ginobili draws a foul. Called it on Antoine Jamison, his first personal.
See, this is what makes this team such a fun team to watch. Let's take a look at this move by Ginobili. Behind the back, once again, getting into the paint. You got Jamison reaching for the ball, gets a piece of him, sends him to the line. But here's a guy who's averaging 11 points a game. His shooting percentage has been right around 31, 32% for the first 6 games. So he's not shooting a high percentage. But, of course, right now, he's basically carrying this team. That's his 15 points. He's only missed 1 field goal. So they have such, we talk about the depth, but this, again, is a clear showing of what we're talking about.
Tied at 31. Jamison on a fadeaway. That's going to be short. Ginobili has the last 9 San Antonio points. Nesterovic backs in on Thomas, turns and shoots. Horry had it. Nesterovic gets it back. Wizards fortunate they didn't get a foul called there.
Several reaching.
Van Exel for 3. His 8th on the season. Van Exel in his 13th year from Cincinnati.
Jameson's going to try and convince him. I think Antoine touched that ball. He's going to try and convince the officials. Wasn't able to do it.
Well, the Wizards with a turnover. Gilbert Arenas will get a break. Here's another look.
Well, see, Robert Horry touches it there, but there you see Jameson touching it as well. And he's the last one to touch it. San Antonio ball.
Excuse me, Phil. Washington's 4th turnover of the half. Spurs by 3. And Nesterovic commits a foul. And there's a timeout on the court. Second personal on Arenas43p, and with 8:51 to go here in the second quarter, Wizards will have the ball trailing by 3.
And welcome back, everybody, as the Wizards trail the Spurs to score 31-34 with 8:51 left in the second quarter. And with me is a former Washington Bullet, Mr. Dave Bing, played with the Bullets for 2 seasons and is a product of Spingarn High School, we're happy to say. And besides the fact that we're at a great game, tell us why you're in the area, or remind people, should I say, why you're in the area.
Well, this is my home, and Phil Chenier and I are very close. I get back so often to see my family and to see some of my friends here, and I wanted to see Phil, so I'm down for that.
Terrific. Now, of course, you've been the CEO of a steel company up in Detroit, but you've also done a lot of work with the Retired Players Association. Tell us a little bit about the work you're doing with them.
Well, I'm no longer president of the Retired Players Association, but about 14 years ago, about 5 of us got together to really try to make sure that the guys who started the league got involved in the pension plan. And we've been able to achieve that at this point, and I think we've done a nice job.
That's terrific. And I got to ask you this question. What are your memories of playing with Phil Chenier?
Well, Phil was just an unbelievable shooter. When he got on a hot streak, you talk about somebody being in a zone. He was unbelievable, and I enjoyed playing with him.
All right, Mr. Bing, as Manager Ginobili hits a free throw, thank you so much for being with us. And as always, welcome back home.
Thank you.
All right. Guys, it's back to you.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. It just wasn't long enough. Of course, Dave Bing, Earl Monroe, those kind of guys are the players that you look at when you're in high school and college, thinking about possibly being there. So then when you play with them, it's even more satisfying. A great player. And I tell you what, he's done a lot of great things after ball, too.
Yeah, terrific guy. When we go to Detroit, we usually hook up with Dave and maybe have a bite to eat. Great guy.
Washington has had problems holding on to the ball and getting defensive rebounds. And once again, possession of that ball is going to be so important when you're facing a team that has so many weapons and so efficient with the basketball.
Five-point lead for San Antonio, approaching the 8-minute mark. Caron Butler, nice fake, lost the handle and turned it over. Jarvis Hayes gets a steal the other way. Chucky Atkins in the game. Here's Butler going all the way baseline and a hanging shot off the glass.
Cupped the ball with one hand and moved it around until he could get the shot off.
Sanders missed inside, fortunate for Butler. Jamison the other way is floating, jumper good. That is a tough shot.
It really is. You can't say, even though he makes it look easy, that is a difficult shot. When you're on the run going towards the basket, you have to soft touch it.
Well, last night, Caron Butler came off the bench to score 24 points for Washington, and he's doing it again here tonight. And the Wizards are within 1. Hey fans, after every Redskins and Ravens game, turn to the network for the most comprehensive post-game coverage. Immediate reaction and analysis, scores and game breakdowns. Redskins and Ravens post-game live after every game, only on Comcast Sportsnet. All right, Phil, show us this play.
Keep an eye on Antoine Jamison right there. The rebound is secured. He's going to fill the lane to the outside. And all he does is make a tremendously difficult shot over Tim Duncan. Softer, leaning in, and nothing but the net.
Well, the Wizards were 5 down, a couple of straight baskets. They've cut it to 1.
Shot the ball well. 5 of 7 in this quarter.
Parker goes around Hayes, throws up the jumper and hits. Tony Parker in his 5th year. Last year had career highs of 16.5 points a game and just over 6 assists. Arenas on the fadeaway. Great shot.
That's a tough shot. You see he had to lean into Bowen to get him away from him and then fade away to his left.
16 points for Arenas on 6 of 7 shooting. two Wizards are there. They get the rebound. Ten to shoot for Butler. Spins, fadeaway jumper, a little bit short. Parker lost it out of bounds and turned it over. Van Exel coming back into the game, replacing Melvin Sanders. And once again, the Wizards will have an opportunity to regain the lead with 5:44 to go, first half. Atkins, the open jumper. Van Exel, boy, they're so good at penetrating and kicking the ball out.
And they have the shooters that can put that shot down.
His second three-pointer, he's 2 for 2, and Ginobili has 3 of them. Jarvis Hayes, the open shot, rims it. Good move by Van Exel. The running shot, no good. Nesterovic up high to get the offensive rebound. That's a turnover.
Yeah, no one touched it. They were trying to see if they could get a foul called on Atan, who was behind Tim Duncan. His team with 4 turnovers.
Duncan with 6 points. Arenas lays it off to Butler inside. Nice fake, draws contact. And Caron Butler will go to the line where he has shot well so far this season. 20 of 22 coming into this game. Third personal on Nesterovic.
Well, that's when you want somebody to put the ball on the floor. A couple of quick dribbles, get into the heart of the defense, and look for your shot or contact.
25-year-old Caron Butler signed a long extension with the Wizards, totaling about $47 million, so he'll be in Washington for a while. Hey, fans, buy a Wizards 10-game plan, and you'll get to see Miami for free. You're guaranteed to see All-Stars every night. For more info on a 10-game plan, log on to WashingtonWizards.com. Butler misses the second. 3-point San Antonio leads with 4:15 to play in the half. Slapped away. Atkins let it go out of bounds, and they'll give it to San Antonio.
I couldn't tell if he could grab it or not, but that's one of those plays. If you can grab it, grab it. Don't leave it up to the official to make the call.
Absolutely. Flirting with 5 seconds, Ginobili's foul. It's on Caron Butler, his first personal.
Well, Ginobili just too quick for Atan Thomas, gets in the middle, and Caron picks up the foul, trying to help out.
Ginobili played in his first All-Star game last year after averaging a career-high 16 points, about 4.5 rebounds, and almost 4 assists.
Interesting note about Ginobili. This is his 4th year in the league, but he actually was drafted by the team in 1999. Playing European ball. Good shot. Chucky Atkins with a 3. Boy.
Just his second three-pointer in 15 attempts this season. A prolific three-point shooter, but he's struggled since coming to Washington in the trade for Kwame Brown. Duncan nearly lost the handle. Now he Goes cross court for Bowen, who swings it to Van Exel with a great fake on Arenas, and he misses. Butler drives, gets contact, score the field goal. He'll go to the line.
Well, we talk so much about Gilbert Arenas and his strength, but Caron Butler shows you an awful lot of strength here. Gets fouled by Van Exel on the way up. Still is able to muscle that ball up off the glass. Has a chance for a three-pointer.
It says and one emphatically. Butler again at the line. Now 1 of 2 to try to complete the three-point play. And he gives Washington the lead. There have been 6 ties in the game and 10 lead changes. Wizards by 1. Thomas trying to hold his ground on Duncan, and he does.
Good job by Etan.
Arenas for the jumper, got it. How good is Gilbert Arenas?
Very, very good.
Wizards on an 8-0 run, and they've taken the lead by 3. Into the corner for the wide open Bowen shot, and he makes them pay. Talked about it before. Almost everybody on the team can shoot the outside jumper, so somebody's got to cover him.
That's why it's going to call for the ultimate execution defensively.
Daniels inside, lost the handle, and Kenny Mauer calls a foul. They called the foul on Manu28p. That's his first personal. Gilbert Arenas with 18 points in the game. He's missed only 1 shot in 8 attempts. Wizards will have 2 shots coming and a 1-point lead when we return.
D. Lineman in our NBA TV studios. Want to tell you, coming up on the Toyota halftime report, we have highlights and scores from around the league. 8 games on the Saturday night schedule, and Fred Carter will be here to analyze the first half of this very tight game between the Spurs and the Wizards. And we remind you that tomorrow night, beginning at 6 p.m. Eastern, you can catch the Rockets and the Celtics right here on NBA TV. Let's get you back to the MCI Center.
Fans, Canon Business Solutions is a Canon USA company providing best-in-class document management solutions. For all your office technology needs, it's Canon Business Solutions, Washington's source for document management. Caron Butler off the bench, and so far relishing his role in that capacity. Has 8 points tonight, had 24 last night in a big win over Seattle.
Yeah, but Steve, what I really like about him is he doesn't just come off the bench and give you scoring. He gives you something of everything: rebounding, toughness, going to the basket, which puts pressure on opponent's defense. He gets to the free throw line, and also has an assist tonight. So last night had 4 assists to go along with 7 rebounds.
Boy, one of the best free throw shooters on the team, Antonio Daniels. Misses that one. He's now 9 of 13 for the season. Since Butler came in, the Wizards are +6. And Washington with a 2-point advantage. Boy, Ginobili is just amazing how he handles the ball. Nazr Mohammed in, blocked from behind, and Thomas has it. Ooh.
Looked like an elbow.
It
came
was.
close to Ginobili.
It was. Butler inside. That's knocked away and taken by San Antonio. Arenas, great anticipation. Wizards with some numbers at the other end. Jamison lays it up and misses. Butler's right there. He gets clobbered by Mohammed and goes down hard. Wow, this thing has gotten physical in a hurry.
A lot of action at both ends. A lot of people swiping at the ball, going uncalled at both ends, so they're getting more physical all the time. See what happens underneath here. The block by Etan from behind. He gets a hold of it, then he gets surrounded by 2 defenders. Fortunately, he's able to get it out. Another missed free throw.
Wow, something that the Wizards were proficient at last night. And Washington's victory. They shot 80.5% from the free throw line. And right now, the Wizards shooting just 67%.
Yeah, 6 of 9. The Spurs, on the other hand, a perfect 8 for 8.
Yeah, against a team like this, you can't afford to miss things like free throws. You've got to take every opportunity you can.
Well, that's something Tony Parker is so good at. And that drive and that flip-up shot, he's good at spinning the ball off the glass either way.
Wizards by 1, a minute and a half to go in the first half. Bad pass. Parker anticipated it, and he'll score easily. Something the Wizards just took for granted. That's a little play they run to set up their offense. But when Jamison turns his back like that.
Well, you have teams that do scouting report just like Washington does.
Arenas pushed in the back. He'll shoot 2.
Getting back to my point, you know, you have scouting reports. You understand how they like to initiate their offense, get into their plays. And sometimes you see that rhythm while you're playing them. And then at some point you say, I'm going to try and gamble here. I'm going to look for an opportunity. Take a look here. Van Exel reaching from behind. They nearly come up with the steal. Fortunately, Gilbert runs it down. And then Van Exel with the foul in the back.
Arenas is 2 for 2 from the line tonight, has 18 points. And he's made 7 of 8 field goals. Wow. 6 of 10 from the line are the Wizards, 60%.
Yeah, we're talking about the better shooters shooting free throws. Daniels, Gilbert, and Butler. They're the only Wizards to shoot free throws.
You just cannot miss free throws against San Antonio. Every opportunity. 2 of them. Van Exel off a screen.
Looked like it was a 3, but they only give him 2.
Spurs have come back to take the lead by 3. Jamison. Running shot, no good. He got muscled. Thomas comes away with it. Arenas.
Plenty of time.
Daniels for 3. Missed badly. Right there is Caron Butler. Or was it Jamison?
I think that was Jamison.
It was indeed.
Antoine with his 5th rebound tonight.
20 seconds to go in the first half. Don Thomas, and penetration has just been impressive by San Antonio.
You say this is where you have to cut down the penetration, but from a guard's perspective, it's so difficult because what happens is Gilbert had to fight through that pick that was set by Muhammad. So he's going to be behind his opponent. He's got to get help from the other big men to turn him back or at least slow him down until he gets into position.
And their guards are so quick that once they get that screen and turn the corner, it's almost impossible to stop it. Tony Parker is 23. He's appeared in more playoff games than any player 23 years or younger in NBA history. 67 playoff games at just the age of 23.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of comparisons, similarities between him and Gilbert Arenas, both of them in their 5th year, drafted the same year. Tony drafted late in the first round, 28th. Gilbert drafted in the 2nd round. He was 31st. I think there's about 4 months apart age-wise. So, and both of them are extremely talented and exciting at such a young age, 23.
Beno Udrih, in his 2nd year from Slovenia, is in the game. And Parker, who was born in Belgium, grew up in France, has 1 more free throw. And he gives the Spurs a 3-point lead with 14 seconds to play in the half. They put it in the hands of the go-to guy, the last-second game winner, Gilbert Arenas. Pressured by Parker. Arenas going all the way, throws it up and in. What a play.
That's a tough shot. That gives him 20 on the night.
And that is the end of a physical, fast-moving, and hard-fought first half of basketball. Entertaining, to say the least. Manu Ginobili, 19 points on 5 of 7. 3 of them were three-pointers. And Gilbert Arenas on 8 of 9 shooting has 20 points to lead all scorers. And let's send you over to Dave Branch.
With Caron Butler, and Caron, a lot of people say the Spurs are the best team in the league. 1-point game at halftime. So far, so good.
Yeah, definitely. They are the best team in the league, but we want to see how we match up with those guys. And we feel like we one of the elite teams in the league, so may the best team win. But this real good game tester for us right here tonight.
Real quickly, what's going on with the free throw shooting? 80% last night, about 60% in the first half.
Yeah, we get into the line, we get what we want, but we just got to go down there and knock down the free throws. We probably a little fatigued from the game last night, but we're professional, so we'll make the proper adjustments.
Thanks very much. Caron Butler, 9 points in the first half. Guys, it's back to you.
All right, the Spurs lead the Wizards by 1 at halftime. For those of you watching on NBA TV, we now return you to our studio.
Welcome to the Toyota Halftime Report. Toyota, moving forward. Now here's your host, Dee Lynam.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Toyota Halftime Report. I'm Dee Lynam alongside the coach, Fred Carter. It is halftime. The game you must be enjoying between the defending world champion San Antonio Spurs and the Washington Wizards. And right now, San Antonio leading this by just a point, 53-52. We'll get to the highlights in just a bit, but we will look inside the numbers at the box score. And if you look at San Antonio, it jumps out at you, Fred, that their backcourt has combined for 33 of that 53. Meanwhile, Gilbert Arenas picks up where he left off last night. He already has 20 points in the first half. He had 32 in last night's game.
And surprisingly, you see Tim Duncan with only 6 points in the ball game. But give the Wizards a lot of credit because they're doing a great job on Tim Duncan. And this high tempo game going up and down. Now think about the Spurs. They can play whatever game you want to play. If you don't believe that, you go back to the Phoenix Suns last year in the conference finals when they're playing against the Suns. Up and down tempo, San Antonio can play that way, but I like the way the Wizards are playing. They're playing good defense, they're playing offense, they're in the building, and the fans in Washington are enjoying it.
Yeah, they're holding San Antonio to 46% shooting in that first half. Pretty good. The Memphis Grizzlies are hoping to end a poor road trip on a positive note as they are in action against the winless Atlanta Hawks. The Grizzlies had won 3 straight games before embarking on a 3-game road swing. After a last-second loss Wednesday in Boston, Memphis was throttled 89-70 in Cleveland on Friday. Atlanta is one of 3 winless teams in the league and is close to equaling the club record for the worst start to a season when they went 0-7 in 2000. Can they get their first win tonight? Well, we check out some highlights of the first half to at least see the direction they are going. That's Joe Johnson. He's hoping to put them in the right direction. Lorenzen Wright getting it out to Eddie Jones. He can still stroke it.
Oh, he certainly can. Eddie Jones has been doing it for a long time. A Miami Heat reject, but I tell you what, they like him. They're in Memphis.
This one is Bobby Jackson getting into the lane, knocking it down. And then Shane Battier takes the ball hard, would finish with the lay-in. He had 8 points in the quarter. Memphis up by a point going into the second quarter. Joe Johnson to Josh Smith, knocking it down.
I like what Josh Smith is doing because now he's learning to shoot the jump shot. He's just not a guy who can only dunk the basketball.
All right, and you see, with 1:22 left in the second quarter, it is Memphis up by a deuce, but the Hawks doing pretty well there.
The Hawks are hanging tough, and they've got to get a home win. They've had a lot of games at home. They've got to find a way to get off the snide. If not, then it becomes that monkey grows into a gorilla on your back.
All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll talk about the Miami Heat. We've got some news on Shaquille O'Neal, who, of course, suffered that ankle injury at the beginning of the season. We'll talk about him and more when we return here on the Toyota Halftime Report. Shaquille O'Neal out with an ankle injury, had his hard cast removed and has begun 2-a-day rehabilitation sessions. The Heat Center will be reevaluated next week, see how that rehab is helping him. His initial prognosis had him out 2 to 4 weeks, but this is the first ankle injury for O'Neal, so it's unknown how quickly he can recover. All right, let's check out the Heat and the Bobcats. Heat are 3-3 as they wait for Shaq to get back. Bobcats come in at 2-4. James Posey making his first start in place of Antoine Walker, and they wasted no time getting the ball to him. He buries the 3. Jason Williams getting it inside to Alonzo Mourning. He has played tremendous, has 10 already, and at the end of 1, Miami leading it 35-27 as Dwayne Wade gets in on the action. So the Miami Heat, of course, missing Shaquille O'Neal. You can't say they can't. They aren't.
Well, you know, when you lose your best player, especially a dominant player like Shaq, who tilts the floor when he comes in the ball game and just makes everything smaller, opens up the floor for everyone else. But Alonzo Mourning doing a great job. You heard Deed say 10 points in the first quarter, 3 rebounds, a block shot. Zoe is really having a heck of a year. And this team is really holding on while Shaq is out.
Yeah, good for them. Able to do so. All right, we take another break. Again, it is halftime at the MCI Center. What a great game between the Spurs and the Wizards. Both teams came in with just 1 loss. One of them's going to leave with another. We'll be back with some highlights after this. Back here on NBA TV, Fred Eva Langor plays a desperate housewife, but is a loyal girlfriend in the house to take in the Wizards and the Spurs. Gilbert Arenas coming off the screen, buries the 3. Washington jumped out to an 11-7 lead. Spurs were on the break. Manu Ginobili and Tony Parker hooking up.
That was a great pass, run the floor. That's why Ginobili can play 3 positions, 1, 2, and 3, can see the floor.
Antoine Jamison buries the 3. Washington 4 of 7 from downtown in the first half. They led by a deuce. Manu Ginobili, speaking of 3s, he had 3 in the first half, and actually San Antonio won better than the Wiz with 5 of 7 from downtown. Gilbert Arenas, big half for him, 20 points to lead all scorers. That last one tied things at 29. And then Nick Van Exel getting into the downtown action, if you will. San Antonio by 3 at that point. Caron Butler.
I think he likes it.
I think he does. Strong move inside. Tony Parker, the steal. He would go the distance, kiss 2 off the glass, and again, at the half, San Antonio leads it 53-52. Fred, any other number jump at you as a telling one and one that needs to either change or stay the same for the second half?
Well, for Washington shooting 52% from the floor, San Antonio's a much better defensive team than that. This is a team that's been in the top 2 or 3 defensive field goal percentage-wise over the last 4 or 5 years. They've got to find a way to slow that up. If they can't, the Wizards are going to come out of there with a W. This team likes to get up and down the floor. Defensive transition will be the name of the game. And, of course, San Antonio has got to find a way. Tim Duncan, only 7 shots. They've got to get him shots and points.
By the way, those were our Toyota moving forward stats. The other thing, Fred, neither team turning the ball over. 4, both teams wanting to push it a little bit. That's pretty good.
Yeah, and actually, the Wizards are a forcing turnover team. Last year, they led the league, or second league in steals, maybe first or second in forcing turnovers as well. Meanwhile, the Spurs, well, they don't turn it over. Why? They play the game the right way. It goes inside and come out.
I know we said coming in, Washington, 4-1 record, San Antonio, 5-1. Washington's had played some teams that you say, okay, maybe the lesser part. But the fact that they can play with San Antonio like this, are you more impressed?
I certainly am more impressed because you still have to win the games you're playing. You can find that good teams are going to play lesser teams and come up with the clunker. So far, Washington has not. Now they've got to withstand the challenge of the world champion San Antonio Spurs. And right now, oh, they're going hand-to-hand with them.
All right. We'll get you back to the MCI Center for second half action. Again, it's San Antonio by a point. Here's Steve Buckhantz and Phil Chenier.
Spurs led by as many as 5. The Wizards by as many as 4. There are the stats from the first half.
Well, the Wizards shot actually 58% in the second quarter, finishing it out over 52%. You can see the free throw shooting right there. A perfect 10 for 10 for San Antonio.
And the Wizards 6 of 11 from the free throw line, 54.5%. Arenas going all the way, draws contact. Gilbert will shoot 2.
You don't see that very often. Bruce Bowen getting broken down one-on-one situation points without any kind of pick, and that just shows you the skill of Gilbert Arenas, able off the dribble to break down the defense.
Let's check in again with Dave Branch. Dave?
Gentlemen, I talked to Eddie Jordan at halftime, and he said, you know, they've got to work on their pick-and-roll defense because the Spurs, especially Ginobili and Parker, cut hard to the basket. But you know what? He's pleased with the defensive job they're doing on Duncan, and he's really pleased overall. But he said, we've got to keep fighting. Back to you guys.
Well, that's the thing. We talked about it. Against this team, you literally have to play defense every minute of the game, because the moment you lax off or miss an assignment, they'll make you pay.
Yeah, and Eddie knows as a coach that, you know, you've got to continue to ask these guys to improve and not settle for the accomplishments that they've had in the first half.
Bruce Bowen averaging 7.5 points a game in his 10th year from Cal State Fullerton. And the Wizards answer with Antoine Jamison. 13 points in the game for Jamison. Steve Buckhantz, Phil Chenier, Dave Branch, and our Comcast Sportsnet crew, and we welcome NBA TV watching around the country tonight as well. Duncan lost it, and then a foul is called on Jared Jeffries as he reached in from behind. That's what they've been doing to Duncan. They've been bothering him as soon as he puts the ball on the floor.
Well, we've seen both teams allowed to reach in and swipe at the ball, and they've been pretty effective both ways doing that. Here, we get the reach in by Jeffries, and he picks up his first personal.
They go to Duncan again with some help from Jamison, and again Jeffries. This time he comes down with the arm and hits Duncan on top of the head. That's his second personal, and Spurs will have the ball on the side. San Antonio last year winning their third NBA title in 7 years. Became just the 7th NBA franchise to win 3. Ginobili kicks it out to a wide open Bowen, who has to go inside. 2 seconds. Parker, that's blocked by Haywood, and a 24-second
I tell you
violation.
What, we saw good execution at both ends, because I thought the Spurs were very patient with their offense, moved the ball around. Washington equally up to the challenge, in fact, and forced the 24-second shot violation.
Wizards won 45 games last year, making it to the second round of the playoffs, where they lost 4 straight to Miami after beating Chicago 4 games to 2. They lost the first 2 to the Bulls and then won 4 straight in that series.
I think that was Parker that picked up the foul there, trying to fight through a pick.
Tough move inside by Jamison.
You can't teach those kind of shots. I got to tell you, kids at home, don't try that.
They just come or they don't.
You'll either hurt yourself or you'll be out of the game rather quickly.
Duncan off balance, and Haywood is there. Wizards by 3. Arenas for the jumper. Got it, and the Wizards have their largest lead of 5.
Well, there's a lot to be said for somebody with lightning quickness like Gilbert Arenas. You have to respect that.
Ginobili for the long jumper. How do you like him? His 4th three-pointer of the game.
Right, he was 3 for 5. Make that now 4 of 6 from 3-point range. Good job by Nesterovic to disrupt the timing of that play. They were setting up Gilbert to come off that pick.
11 seconds on the shot clock. Eddie Jordan screens opposite. Gilbert goes to the far side. Back to Jeffries for the long jumper. Good. 3-pointer for Jared Jeffries. That's his first of the season in 2 attempts. Last year he made 16 of them. Not prone to take a lot of threes. He took 51 long-range shots last season.
Just so you know, that was a delay of game warning. So you can't get a second one.
One way to slow this team down. Parker dribbling through traffic for Bowen around the Nesterovic pick. Shot missed, and Jeffries is there. Arenas around Bowen, goes inside, throws it up and scores!
Man.
Sensational shot by Arenas. 26 points. He's missed only one shot in 11 attempts. The Wizards have their largest lead, and the fans are on their feet in the phone booth. 7-point Washington lead with 8:38 to go in the third quarter. Hey fans, if you're looking for the best deal on a Jeep, Kia, or Subaru, make sure to see Jeff Collins at Dulles Motor Cars in Leesburg. And I can guarantee you from experience, Jeff will take care of you. Dulles Motor Cars in Leesburg, not your ordinary car buying experience. Look at this move by Gilbert Arenas.
I tell you what, keep your eye on this guy in the middle. We can't telestrate this. There's too many moves right here, and he's going against one of the finest defenders in Bruce Bowen. Gets away from him. Look how he floats all the way to the basket. What an incredible move.
Back live, the Spurs miss a shot inside. In fact, they missed 2, and the Wizards have the rebound, leading by 7.
In fact, the Wizards have not missed a shot this quarter. Perfect 5 for 5.
Oh.
Let me shut up.
Ginobili on the fadeaway, and he drills it in.
See, Washington shooting the first 7 minutes 38%, but since then 66%.
And a turnover. Ginobili. Bowen backs up and hits. That's a three-pointer. And the 7-point lead very quickly down to 2.
Coming in this game, Bowen shooting right around 65% from three-point range, 9 of 14.
Here's Arenas. Pulls up on Bowen and hits. Gilbert Arenas with 28 points. He's missed just 2 shots, or correction, 1 shot in the game. He's 11 of 12. Into Duncan. Duncan has just 6 points. Cross court, they swing it to Parker. Bowen, that'll break your back.
It really will, because that shot clock was down to 2 seconds. Washington played very solid defense and forced them to make a number of changes, but Bowen ends up with the shot.
Jamison on Ginobili. Tough to stop that, and he's got all kinds of moves. Antoine 3 for 3 in the quarter. Has 17 points in the game. Wizards by 4. Wizards take it away. Duncan is upset. Daniels for Jamison. Antoine slipped underneath, no call. He's okay, but he didn't get a foul, and that's what he was looking for. Parker the other way.
Nice move. At that point, boy, I tell you what, it's mano y mano. And I'm not talking about Ginobili.
Right. Arenas, that's off the mark. Ginobili hacked by Jeffries. And Jared picks up the foul. In a game like this, your tendency is to go away from your pattern offense because it's so helter-skelter and you're trying to match talent against talent.
And because you have a player like Gilbert Arenas that is so hot that you want to keep force-feeding him the ball, but at some point you've got to get back to those basics and make sure that everybody touches the ball and bring it back to Gilbert at some point. Fine.
Be a little more disciplined.
Yeah. Boy, Ginobili, perfect 7 for 7 from the line.
And the Spurs are a perfect 11 for 11, while the Wizards are shooting just 61.5% from the free throw line, 8 of 13.
And we showed you our ones to watch. Those two players, Caron Butler and Manu, And the fact that they're so aggressive and their ability to get to the free throw line is so important for their respective teams.
Antoine Jamison gets a rest, although he didn't look to be too happy about coming out of the game. Deron Butler is back in. And Robert Horry checks into the lineup as well. Robert Horry would have to be some sort of alien to wear all of his NBA championship rings on one hand, because as a human, he does not have enough fingers. He's won 6 NBA titles.
Oh. Couldn't get that one to fall, but another strong, excellent move from Gilbert Arenas, who just found some kind of way to get through the defense and get to the basket.
So Gilbert will go to the free throw line. He's 4 of 6 from the line. 28 points.
29 minutes.
And 11 of 13 from the field.
Last night, Gilbert 32 points in 31 minutes.
Hey fans, Wizards individual tickets are now available through December. Get your tickets now to see this Wizards club take on the likes of the Bulls, the Lakers, Phoenix, and Miami. Log on to WashingtonWizards.com to get your tickets tonight. 5:21 to go, third quarter. Wizards maintain a 1-point lead, looking to push it to 2. Same two teams will play again, but not till April Fool's Day in San Antonio. 30 points for Gilbert Arenas to lead all scorers. Manu Ginobili has 26 for the Spurs. Out to Bowen. The #1 field goal shooting percentage team in the NBA at 49%. And they're at 47% right now for this game.
Yeah, and they're like a machine. I mean, they move the ball around to the open guy.
Arenas, unbelievable. Didn't even dribble, just picked it up over his head and fired it in. 32 for Gilbert. Taken away by Butler.
Well, he had to throw that pass behind Daniels because Parker was right in the passing lane, but he threw it a little too far behind him. Daniels couldn't reach back and control it.
The 10th Washington turnover, which so far has resulted in 11 San Antonio points. Make it 13. Arenas going all the way, draws contact, and nearly got it to go in. He has become a one-man wrecking crew against San Antonio.
Nesterovic talking to himself. I mean, there's not much you can do. I mean, here's a guy who's strong enough to make this kind of shot. He goes into you, draws the contact. Nesterovic trying to move out of the way, but not far enough out of the way, so he's still moving and gets the call for the foul. That's number 4 on Rasho.
Gilbert, 6 of 8 from the line. 3 assists in the game as well. No rebounds tonight. That's a new season high for Gilbert Arenas with 33 points. Last year he had his career high 44 against Philadelphia. And our first look at Michael Ruffin in the game tonight. Ruffin did not play in the victory over Seattle last night. He was out with the flu, and because he was activated, the rookie Andre Bloch is not available for tonight's game.
Well, keep an eye while Ruffin is in there on loose balls and rebounds, particularly Washington offensive rebounds, one of the team's top offensive rebounders.
Arenas had 9 in the first quarter, 11 in the second, 13 in this period. Butler, tough play, couldn't get it, and Horry has the rebound. Parker quickly up court.
Got a quick backcourt in there. Parker and Van Exel.
Into Duncan, guarded by Haywood.
Boy, you saw the hesitation on Hayward. You got to be there a little quicker. He didn't pick up a foul, but he was not able to control that rebound. Does a good job defensively, forces Duncan to shoot an off-balance shot. But look at he turns and look, as opposed to go to get the ball and then move himself in front of Duncan at least.
Get your position quickly.
Turn and watch that ball.
Butler down low. Underneath to Hayward.
Well, that's the way you want to see Brendan score. He was 5 for 5 last night on those kind of shots.
Meantime, Tim Duncan has missed his last 9 shots. He's got no field goals in the last 28 minutes of this game. And he'll have a chance to score a couple of points from the free throw line with a foul on Brendan Haywood. A good hand for the home team. Butler underneath to Haywood. 2:40 to go in the third. Wizards by 2. Hey fans, Monday night's a different kind of sports show. Football, entertainment, and special guests every week. Watch the show everyone's talking about. Monday Night Live, Mondays at 7:30, only on Comcast Sportsnet. One of the top young forwards in all of the NHL, there's Alexander Ovechkin, the Capitals rookie, and what a tremendous player he is. Caps, however, losing their second straight to the Devils. They were up in New Jersey this afternoon after losing here at home yesterday afternoon. So tough 2 days for the Caps. So that guy is some kind of hockey player. And hopefully he'll be around here for a long time. Exciting young player. So Tim Duncan to the line. He's got just 6 points in the game, 10 rebounds. Just 2 of 12 from the field. He's made both of his free throws. And misses that one. The name to the All-NBA first team in each of his first 8 seasons. Only 4 other players have done that. Last year was an all-star starter for the 7th consecutive time.
You know, you look at his technique and form from the free throw line. I don't know how he hasn't been a better free throw shooter than he is coming into this season, 69%.
Haywood inside for Arenas. He'll take the long jumper. Follow slam by Jarvis Hayes.
Good stuff.
That electrifies the crowd at the MCI Center. Hayes with 4 points off the bench. Wizards by 3. Robert Horry. And you don't want to let that guy shoot threes, but he misses one.
Too much time.
Most prolific three-point shooter in NBA Finals history with 53 of them. Arenas gets the roll.
He's just amazing.
35 points for Gilbert Arenas. Ginobili set to check back in for San Antonio. Washington by 5, led by as many as 7. Parker lost the handle. Ruffin has it.
Good scouting report. Tony Parker coming into this game only attempted 1 three-pointer so they can play behind the pick.
Just a little bit long for Arenas on a 3-point attempt. 1:15 to go in the third quarter of what has been a terrific basketball game. Duncan short jumper missed. Tip up, no good. Haywood trying to get it. And it's chased down by Washington. Ruffin underneath Butler. Double team finds Jarvis Hayes. Wizards have matched their largest lead of 7 on a 6-0 run. Duncan is held on a reach-in by Michael Ruffin.
Well, I tell you, the Wizards are shooting some kind of percentage in this quarter. I think they're 14 for 18. The missed shot there by Arenas, and then you saw Jarvis Hayes get the throwdown. Jarvis Hayes following that play with this jump shot, so he's come in to give them a nice spark off the bench. Has a total of 6 points for the game.
Wizards bench has contributed 18 points so far, including 9 from Caron Butler.
I said coming into this game, Duncan leading all players on his team in free throw percentage other than those that have shot four or more from the line, shooting 90%, but he's missed 2 of his last 3.
Gets that one. Wizards by 6, 30 seconds to play, third quarter. Arenas streaking inside, and a blocking foul called on Robert Horry. The quickness of Gilbert Arenas.
I tell you, very creative too, because he knew he had to go behind the backboard. We saw him on that one floater, float all the way to the basket. Watch him float again from one side. Now he reaches to the other, doesn't make it, but he certainly gives himself an opportunity. Now he'll have 2 free throws.
You can see Horry dip that shoulder into him ever so slightly to create the contact.
Yeah, no argument coming from Robert.
Oh.
Shooting a better percentage from the field than he is from the free throw line.
He's 13 of 17 from the field, 7 of 11 from the line. But, you know, these are the kinds of games that...
Yeah, every little bit helps. You got to take care of every aspect of the game, and free throws a big part of it. Washington 11 for 18. That's 61% shooting from the line.
Wow. Unbelievable.
I still say that's the challenge of that is you're running at a pace up and down the court, and then all of a sudden everything stops, no defense, you're at the free throw line, and you just have to readjust your focus and your concentration. Nice move.
Yeah, he's amazing. Arenas runner, got it! Three-pointer off the glass for Arenas.
Wow.
What has he not done tonight?
A running bank shot with the shot clock going off.
38 points for Gilbert Arenas, 18 in the third quarter. And he has been nothing short of spectacular. 1 quarter to go in our nation's capital as the Wizards try to knock off the defending world champions, led by Gilbert Arenas with 38. And after 3 in D.C., it's the Wizards 85 and the Spurs 78. He hasn't missed. He's 11 for 11.
I tell you, some kind of shooting, and that's what the team is showing you too. Almost 58% shooting in that quarter. Washington 13 for 19, 68% shooting against one of the top defensive teams in the league.
So Gilbert gets a rest. He's played in 22 minutes and scored 38 points on 14 of 18 shooting. And let's check in with Dave Branch.
Guys, in that timeout, Eddie Jordan implored his guys to set the tone right from the beginning on the first play defensively, to come out, set the tone, and to be tough, be tough, be tough. And you see the Wizards stepping up their defense. Back to you.
They got a great steal, Phil, but this is a great play by Ginobili.
He doesn't make any contact or even go for the ball till he gets around in front of Jarvis Hayes, so there can't be a clear path call if they call a foul, but just a great play by Manu.
Absolutely great play. (85-78). We start the fourth quarter, and Kenny Mauer calls a foul inside. Or was it on Antonio Daniels?
It was on
the
Daniels.
outside?
A little bit of touch there, and Daniels still a little perplexed with the call.
He's looking over and saying, wow. the Wizards can keep this defense going. Follow not there, but Duncan gets the rebound. Into the corner for the long jumper, in and out, and Ruffin has it. Spurs now shooting 42% from the field. The Wizards shooting 57%. Last night they shot 58% and beating Seattle by 41. Hayes is open off a screen.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And the Wizards have their largest lead of the game, 9 points. Duncan lost it. They say it went off of Jeffries. And San Antonio ball with 11 to shoot.
Jared knows he has a tough assignment having to guard Tim Duncan, but right now he's done an admirable job.
These two teams played in the preseason down in Winston-Salem. Unbelievable.
Oh, what a pass.
And Kenny Maurer calls a foul on Tim Duncan.
Out on the floor before the pass. Oh, but I tell you what, I think that
great court presence by Butler.
Caron Butler was surprised. Right as he turns around, he has to go behind the back. Ball goes down. He gets down to the floor and has the presence to realize that he has a teammate underneath the basket. Boy, that could have been a great play.
And yet, the foul on Duncan keeps Jeffries from the attempted shot, but it does give the Wizards the ball back. In the meantime, Phil, Tim Duncan has missed 13 consecutive field goal attempts, and he'll take a seat for now.
You see, that's kind of like the good news, bad news kind of thing. You know, it's good that for the Wizards, it's good that he's missed that, but you got to believe that that won't continue.
Well, he's out for now, so he can't do anything for the moment. Daniels. That was partially blocked by Nesterovic, it appears. On a good defensive play. Ginobili the other way. His shot is short, and Hayes has it. Jarvis for Daniels, and he'll set it up. Spurs are just one of their last 10 field goal attempts. Hayes again off a screen.
They said coming into this game, Washington #1 in opponents' field goal percentage. 4 of their 5 opponents have shot under 40%.
Ginobili will fire for 3. 87-78 Washington. And Eddie Jordan will take a time as Gilbert Arenas gets set to check back in the game. Fans in Washington sensing perhaps a big victory. We've still got plenty of time. 9:24 to go in regulation. And the Wizards have their largest lead of the game, 9 points, playing a terrific game, shooting almost 56% from the field. However, they're shooting 58% from the free throw line. Hey fans, tonight on Sports Night presented by PricewaterhouseCoopers, in the spotlight, Eleanor Roosevelt High School, often referred to as the U for its reputation for sending great players to the college level and the NFL. A closer look at what makes this sports school tick tonight on Sports Night after the game. Arenas draws contact, and will he be on the line or not? Zach Zarba, the young referee in his 3rd year, says his foot was on the line, and it's a 2-point attempt coming up.
Well, he looked over to Ken Maurer, I believe, to take a second look, but that right foot must have been on the line. But he did look over to get some help from one of the other officials, Kenny Maurer.
Gilbert Arenas with 38 points in the game.
Yeah, he's got to concentrate and get back into a stroke from this free throw line. He missed 2 in a row the last time he got to the line.
5 for the game. He's 7 of 12. 44 points last year. On April 9th here against Philadelphia was his career high. He's got 39 now. Became the first Wizard to average more than 25 points a game in a season since Bernard King in 1990-91 when he averaged 28.4. Ginobili around Daniels, goes in, lays it up. He is so good.
That time the lefty used the right hand to finish off the shot.
Plus he uses his body to shield you when he goes up.
He does do that exceptionally well. In fact, you noticed that in that Detroit series, the finals last year.
Arenas inside, lays it up high, couldn't get it. Tip up and in by Ruffin.
We talked about Michael bringing another dimension to this team on the offensive glass. Comes up with that offensive putback.
Washington by 11, their largest lead. He's not as strong as Corey Maggette of the Clippers, but in the same fashion, he goes to the basket with reckless abandon.
I think he's a little quicker, though. You can look at him, he's a little bit lankier, and he's that left-handed, but he can finish with the right hand. There he draws the foul on Antonio.
He's deceptively strong. Kicks it out for Van Exel. 7 to shoot. Van Exel. Ruffin is there for Butler. Bad pass picked off by Parker.
Right idea by Gilbert, trying to get the mismatch. Antoine Jamison guarded by Parker, but not enough lift on that pass.
Butler, nice play, and he got it in. Give the assist to Jamison. 11 points off the bench for Caron Butler. Ginobili with a fake this time. Now he finds Van Exel. Out to Parker for 2. Butler strong, got hit, and he'll shoot 2. That's just strength right there.
Absolutely, and once again, I mean, the comparison of Caron Butler and Ginobili, both these guys are always in attack mode. Here's that last alley-oop. You see Parker on him. He catches it, knows where he is, able to look over his shoulder and drop it in. Boy, that's an athletic move. Once again, just looking over his shoulder and dropping it in. Very physical player, though, to get the inside position.
And the Wizards have stretched their lead to 12. It is the largest lead of the game for either team. Butler with 12 points, 4 of 6 from the line. A 13-point lead for Washington, who is 4 for 4 from the free throw line in this quarter. 7 minutes to play in regulation. Spurs are 5-1. Wizards are 4-1.
Oh, nice finish. Way to take it strong.
All Greg Popovich can do is watch for now. Here's Bowen underneath for Duncan. And he's fouled from behind by Ruffin.
Not a bad foul.
Not at all.
Not a bad foul. Boy, that last fast break was beautiful. And watch Caron Butler finish on that end.
15 for Butler. The Wizards have outscored San Antonio 24-8.
Here's that break I'm talking about. Watch him floating. He's getting ready to get the throwdown, but then has to switch to the left hand. And then at the other end, Duncan has to earn his points from the line. Misses this. Michael Ruffin foul.
Arenas, and I'm not sure what.
Step on someone's foot.
Either that or somebody stepped on him. It's hard to tell, but he looks like he's okay as Duncan misses. Wizards lead by 15 and now 14. 9 points in the game for Tim Duncan on 2 of 16 shooting. Has 13 rebounds. Jamison for the jumper, too strong. Ruffin, and a loose ball foul on Washington.
Ruffin had him boxed out, but Ruffin was backing up, and that's where he got called for the foul.
Robert Horry looked over at the Wizards bench, gave him a little smirk as if to say, we got a break on that one. Exel for Duncan, lays it up, missed it. Michael Ruffin off the bench with his 7th rebound. Duncan has missed 14 straight shots.
I don't think Caron knows that they called the foul on him. Now he does. Duncan on the transition was talking to himself. He actually got the first contact, and that threw him off balance. So if they didn't call that, more than likely they would have called the traveling.
You see that no field goal since the first quarter. In the last 37 minutes, he's missed 14 shots in a row. And Duncan is just 2 of 17 from the field. Lost the ball, picked it up, and very fortunate for him, he touched it. It looked like he touched it on the rim. And Eddie Jordan calling the play. Wizards by 12. 5.5 to go in regulation. Arenas for the jump shot. Got it. 3-pointer for Gilbert Arenas, who has 43 points in the game, 1 shy of tying his career high. His 4th 3-pointer tonight. And that was big after the Spurs had cut it to 12.
Good job defensively, forced Van Exel to take a very tough shot.
Daniels got it. Wizards have their largest lead. And a reach-in foul on Gilbert Arenas. The Spurs will take time with 4:53 to go in regulation, and a standing ovation for this improved group of Wizards team. They are deep and they are durable. Well, there's the scoring, 17-7 in the 4th quarter, and the Wizards bench has really come to play tonight. They have outscored San Antonio's 28-12 and out-rebounded them 20-10 as we look at the forward-game summary.
In large part thanks to Caron Butler. Manu28p, 28 points in 29 minutes. He has 4 3-pointers. How about Gilbert Arenas? How good is this guy? 43 points, only missed 5 shots. And Tim Duncan, not a very productive night offensively. He's missed 15, I had to add that or subtract that, 15 of his 18 shots. Should have just said 3 for 18.
Bring that Cal degree into play.
Oh, they're playing USC right now.
How about that? First 40-point game since April 9th when he had his career high last year, 44 against Philly. The Wizards, after last night's 137-point barrage, which was an MCI Center record, are 3rd in the league in scoring. Only Milwaukee and Phoenix score more points a game. 101.2, so they're right at that now. And San Antonio allows 88.8, 6th in the league. So you can tell the Wizards really proficient here tonight.
Finish off strong. Finish off strong.
Shooting 57% from the field is Washington, and San Antonio just under 40%.
And I'm sure that's something that Eddie Jordan said to his team during that last timeout. Finish strong. Don't get carried away. We still got some time on the clock.
Double team. And what happened? Kenny Mauer pointed towards San Antonio, but now he changes it to point towards Washington because Daniels had to take a timeout on the double team.
Yeah, that whole sequence, you had the defenders swarming, and Daniels couldn't get rid of the ball. Both possessions he had.
Well, you talked about the keys to the game earlier, Phil, from Jim Coleman. Here they are.
Well, Tim Duncan obviously has been quiet, and not only Haywood, but Jared Jeffries doing a job there. The battle at the point, we said that was going to be a nice one, and it has. Gilbert Arenas, 43 points. Ginobili and Jamison both getting their job done. And then these guys right here, defensively, really getting the job done, especially in this second half. The Spurs 3 for 15 in this fourth quarter. That's going to be their second delay of game warning.
And it's a technical foul.
We mentioned that when they got the first one in the first half, and a lot of times you just kind of shrug your shoulders, but when you get that second one, all of a sudden, you're giving up a free throw.
Well, San Antonio has nothing to lose now. They can overplay on defense. They can be physical.
Gambling.
And that's what they did on that possession right there to force the turnover and, in effect, give themselves a technical foul shot. So it's a 14-point Washington lead with 4:38 to go in regulation. And the Spurs have the ball. Duncan is back in the game. Parker, they look inside for the big man. Here's Bowen. Good defense. Now Ginobili gets a screen. Baseline, offensive foul.
Michael Ruffin stepping in there, taking the solid position, taking that baseline away from Ginobili and forcing the turnover. It's a good call. The 13th turnover, and there you see clearly has good position.
He knows how to play the game.
Absolutely.
Ruffin in his 6th year from Tulsa, 2nd year with the Wizards. Arenas has 43 points. Nearly lost the ball. Daniels racing from 15 feet. Good.
Did just what they wanted. Consumed some time and then got the open shot.
Wizards at one point trailed 74-73. Since then, they have outscored San Antonio 31-14.
Make that turnover number, 13, now 13 turnovers. The traveling violation by Tony Parker. See if he switches his pivot foot.
He's got 6 turnovers on his own, Phil.
Well, he gets caught in the middle. He picks up his dribble. You certainly don't want to do that. Could have been called for 3 seconds as well.
3:46 to go in regulation. Jamison, hook shot in the lane, got it. Wizards have their largest lead, shooting 58% from the field, 19 for Jamison. Horry with a quick basket underneath. 3:27 to play. Butler leaning shot, couldn't get it off the glass. Here comes San Antonio with Bowen. So Parker, score it, and he'll go to the line.
We said at the start of this game, Parker shooting almost 59% from the field. He's shooting that high percentage on shots like that. He hasn't really been real effective from the perimeter, but boy, when he's gotten to the basket, he's created problems.
Well, apparently Greg Popovich, perhaps feeling that this game is just out of reach right now, he has substituted. He's brought in Sean Marks, 6-year player from your alma mater, California. Nazi Muhammad is back in the game. And we're getting our first look at Fabricio Oberto, rookie from Argentina. 3rd sellout of the year for Washington. Gilbert Arenas with 43, marking his 9th career 40-point game. He had 6 of them last season.
Yeah, that's the highest single game total so far this year. Michael Redd had that that distinguished honor with 41 points at New Jersey November 2nd, but now we have Gilbert with 43.
Daniels got hit on the arm, no call. 7 seconds to shoot. Drives and pushed by Melvin Sanders. And 1 plus the penalty, 2 shots for Antonio Daniels. With 2:40 to play, the Wizards are on the verge of pulling a rather large upset here in our nation's capital, leading 106-93. Wizards on the verge of going 5-1 on the season for the first time since 1989-90. That's the last time they began a year 5-1. Hey, stay tuned after the game, fans, for Wizards Postgame Live, presented by Eastern's Automotive Group. 20,173 on hand tonight. Another sellout at the phone booth as the Wizards look to win back-to-back games here. And they look for their second consecutive victory over San Antonio at home. Beat them last year.
This guy right here spent 4 seasons with the Spurs. Of course, last night played Seattle, a team he spent the last 2 seasons with. So it's been kind of like a reunion for Daniels the last 2 games.
But this one has been all but conceded by Greg Popovich as the Spurs commit a backcourt violation. The road trip will continue for San Antonio, and Gilbert Arenas comes out of the game to a standing ovation. 43 points, 1 shy of his career high. He missed only 5 shots in 20 attempts and had 6 assists.
Boy, what a performance he put on. And we're talking about one of the better defensive teams in the league.
Spurs are wrapping up this road trip after losing at Dallas and coming back to beat Chicago, Charlotte, and Boston last night. They'll take on Atlanta at home Tuesday night, while Washington will go on the road for 3, in Cleveland Tuesday, in Minnesota on Thursday, and in New Jersey on Saturday. Those are 3 tough tests for this squad.
Absolutely. Of course, Cleveland with Larry Hughes, and they've much improved their personnel.
1:41 to play. Wizards in control, 108-93. Avi Story in the game. He had a good performance last night off the bench.
Good steal by Butler.
Caron goes all the way to lay it in. Story last night with 13 points in the game against Seattle.
Only missed 1 shot.
And the Wizards, who played just the game of the season, which you need to anytime you face this club.
Well, you got to believe that gave them a certain amount of momentum. I mean, their offense, they hadn't reached 100 points the first 4 games, and then all of a sudden they have that breakout game, and that gave them a little momentum coming into this game.
The past 8 seasons, the Spurs have a record of 438 and 186. That's a 70% winning percentage, the highest winning percentage of any major sports team. But tonight they will suffer their 2nd loss of the year. They were beaten by Dallas 103-84 in Dallas to start this road trip. And they'll finish up with a loss in Washington, D.C.
When you talk about the kind of success the team has had, and you would think that they would not have the opportunity to draft some players, but they still managed to get some pretty good picks. Players like Tony Parker and Manu28p.
Ball out of bounds, given to Washington with a 110-95 lead. And folks, if you're still wondering whether the Wizards have a good basketball team, the question was answered tonight in stellar fashion.
Absolutely, a very gutsy performance the first half, going back and forth, and you could see The Spurs trying to kind of pull away. Washington didn't let that happen, and then the second half, they just really took over offensively and defensively.
Led by that man, Gilbert Arenas, with 43 points on 15 of 20 shooting. And as his routine continues, he gives away his jersey following the game. 110-95 the final, as the Wizards improve to 5-1 on the season, and the Spurs fall to 5-2. 43 for Arenas, 19 for Jamison, 17 for Butler off the bench. But boy, guys like Michael Ruffin came in and got 7 rebounds. Jarvis Hayes with 8 points off the bench, and let's send you down to Dave Branch.
Well, we're with our Chevy Chase Player of the Year, as if there was any doubt, Gilbert Arenas. And Gilbert, all I can say is, wow, you guys really came out and just, frankly, stuck it to them.
We love home. You know, we played the champions, you know, on a 5-game road trip, so we got them when they was tired. And, you know, we had the advantage because we've been at home, you know, for 8 days. So, you know, it was good to jump on them early and just keep it close. You know, we kept it close from the beginning, and we just pulled it out at the end.
You with 43 points, 1 point from your career high. And what did you just come out on a mission tonight?
You know, last year I played up there. I was 0 for 12. And then when they came back here, you know, I had a bad game. So, you know, I had something to prove, you know, coming out just having a good shooting night.
All right. Congratulations on a terrific game. Once again, the Wizards 5-1 for the first time since 1989 and 1990. Guys, it's back to you.
Phil, you couldn't have asked for a better game and a better result, and just a terrific effort by this Wizards club that needed to shoot the ball well, and they did 55% from the field.
Well, I'll tell you, the last 2 games shows you what kind of depth and offensive power they have. Let's hope it continues. They've got 3 games on the road coming up now.
Wizards 3-1 at home and 5-1 overall. Comcast Sportsnet coverage of Wizards basketball has been brought to you tonight by Southwest Airlines, official airline of the NBA. Southwest Airlines, a symbol of freedom. And by Geico, where a 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Now for Phil Chenier and our entire Comcast Sportsnet crew, Steve Buckhantz reminding you that Wizards basketball has been a presentation of Washington Sports and Entertainment, Comcast Sportsnet, and the NBA. Stay tuned. Wizards Postgame Live is next. Phil and I will see you in the postgame show, and again Tuesday night from Cleveland. Wizards victorious tonight, 110-95 over the defending NBA champions. Have a safe evening, everyone.